Hello, my name is Andrew Lewis, and I'm co-owner, co-founder of a company called Aquatic Invasive Management. Our company literally hires divers to, by hand, remove invasive aquatic species from lakes in and around the Adirondack Park. When Chris got me involved in this talk today, it kind of threw me for a loop because I realized I was talking about shaping the entire Adirondack economy, and normally I just talk about milfoil. So the point I decided I wanted to get across today is that it's perfectly possible to have a prosperous economy in a place with such land conservation as the Adirondack Park. And I, of course, thought of Aldo Leopold, and of course my old Paul Smith professor, Craig Maluski, who never let us go a day without hearing an Aldo Leopold quote. But the thing is right when it tends to preserve the integrity, stability, and beauty of the biotic community. It is wrong when it tends otherwise. I think that should be in the business plan for every business within the Blue Line. And I think our small company is an example of that taking place. A typical business person looking at this map will just say, well, what am I going to do with that? There's no room for industry, there's no room for growth, where do the houses go, etc. But instead you can look at that and see a beautiful opportunity to develop sustainably. And of course, with a 10-month winter, you have to be sustainable. Sustainable development literally creates a framework for innovation, which creates new niches, which equals new businesses, new entrepreneurs, new opportunities. And we're an exact example of that. We only exist because the Upper Saranac Lake Foundation, about a decade ago, was facing an invasive plant problem that was threatening their lake. And they said, we're going to raise a lot of money, and we're going to try hand harvesting, and we're not totally sure it's going to work. And it did. And as a result, myself and my business partner looked at each other and we said, well, we've got $400, let's start a business doing this. We got one lake contract in 2007, and today we have worked on 21 different water bodies in and around the Adirondack Park. We're actually taking on work as far away as Tuxedo Park, which is about a 4.5-hour drive outside of here. So it's an Adirondack business actually working across New York State. That's a great thing to have happen here. And it's really a model for how this economy can develop and become prosperous for many. I like to think it's amazing that 10 years ago you said between 20 and 30 people will be making good money to be underwater all day protecting lakes. No one will believe that. So in the end, I think that really this sums it up. We have to marry our business models and our business plans with the very land conservation that has created the Adirondack Park. And in doing so, we actually create more business opportunity for small businesses, lots of them. And in other words, a mirror image of the biodiversity inherent in the environment around us. If we do that, the Adirondacks can become a great model for the rest of the nation in how to develop a strong, sustainable economy, how to support a prosperous local population that isn't modeled on the growth economy that we should have abandoned by now, where you go into a place and say growth is the only metric for success. Here we have an opportunity to show the rest of the country how it can be done. And it takes things like what the Upper Saranac Lake Foundation did to really stimulate that. I wouldn't be here. I'd be living in Virginia, where I'm from, if it weren't for that to have happened. So really that's the main point I wanted to get across. And at this point we can do questions.